Circle centers for Cousins, a shot, and he scores. Dylan Cousins makes it 3-0 Lethbridge here.
Lyram going to take it coast to coast on a backhand, scores!
To the blue line, Vandalese, that effort, tip, scores! Carson Folk is Mr. Teddy Bear! A deflection.
He scores! It's over! It's over! Game 7, overtime, hero!
Welcome to the WHL podcast. I'm Zach Hodder, the manager of player development for the Western Hockey League, your host for this week's episode. We got a pretty good show for you today. We've got Kamloops Blazers star, 29 goals in his 16-year-old season, Logan Stankoven. We've also got Brock Gould, the new starting goaltender for the Portland Winterhawks. And of course, Alarie of the Moose Jaw Warriors. He's got a new head coach. Now he has a new general manager, or soon to have a new general manager as well there in Moose Jaw. But before all of that, we will hop into the news and notes. The Western Hockey League has announced that it has launched an all-new WHL Live on CHL TV. The brand new WHL Live on CHL TV will deliver a high-quality viewing experience on a competitively reimagined and redesigned platform with improved customer experience for WHL fans across the country to enjoy. For only $59.99, WHL fans can enjoy full access to all scheduled games throughout the 2021 WHL regular season, which starts this Friday, February 26th in the Central Division. As a thank you to the greatest fans in hockey, the WHL is pleased to offer free views for all WHL home openers beginning this Friday. You can head to WHL.ca for all the information and pricing on the new WHL Live on CHL TV. The WHL has announced that they have completed the U.S. Division schedule of games for the 2021 regular season, which is set to begin on Thursday, March 18th. The WHL's U.S. Division will open when the Tri-City Americans host the Portland Winterhawks in Kennewick, Washington on March 18th, before continuing on Friday, March 19th, when the Seattle Thunderbirds host the Spokane Chiefs in Kent, Washington. Head to WHL.ca to see the full schedule for the WHL's U.S. Division. Now we head to Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, where the Moose Jaw Warriors general manager, Al Miller, will be stepping down as the club's general manager after accepting the position of Director of Player Personnel within Hockey Canada's Program of Excellence. Miller joined the Warriors in 2010 when he was named Director of Hockey Operations, being promoted in 2012 to General Manager. Under Miller, the Warriors have won the East Division titles in 2012 and 2018, and they captured the 2017-18 Scotty Monroe Memorial Trophy. He leaves the organization as its longest-serving general manager. Residents in Alberta will have the chance to support junior hockey in their communities with a new 50-50 draw designed to help local teams maintain operations impacted by COVID-19. Jackpots for Junior Hockey presented by RE/MAX, a joint 50-50 draw launched by the Western Hockey League, the Alberta Junior Hockey League, and the Alberta government, will share proceeds with the Alberta's 5 WHL teams and the 15 AJHL teams to help offset revenues lost because of the pandemic and the suspension of play. The Alberta government, through the Alberta Gaming, Liquor and Cannabis, the AGLC, is supporting the lottery by allowing the leagues to conduct 50-50 draws, with Albertans able to purchase tickets online from anywhere in the province. For more information on the program, head to WHL.ca. Moving on to some transactions, the Kamloops Blazers have acquired 18-year-old forward Peyton McKenzie from the Moose Jaw Warriors in exchange for a 6th-round pick in the 2021 WHL Draft. McKenzie was originally selected by the Warriors in the 3rd round of the 2017 WHL Draft. The Sherwood Park, Alberta native has played 24 games with the Warriors over the past 2 seasons, tallying 2 assists. This season, McKenzie appeared in 12 games with the Drumheller Dragons of the Alberta Junior Hockey League, collecting 9 points in 12 games. We finish today's news and notes with an update on the captains across the Western Hockey League for this season. We start in Lethbridge, where the Lethbridge Hurricanes have named Dino Kambites the new captain in the Windy City. Heading off to Brandon, the Brandon Wheat Kings have named Team Canada defenseman Braden Schneider their captain for the 2021 season. Heading to Moose Jaw, who's getting a lot of pub on this episode of the WHL podcast, have named Damon Hunt their captain for the 2021 season. Hunt, of course, suffered a severe wrist injury last year, cutting his season short. We'll be interested to see what he can do in 24 games this year. Staying in the Eastern Conference, Montreal Canadiens first-round pick Caden Gooley of the Prince Albert Raiders has been named their 44th captain in team history. And we will end in Edmonton, where Scott Atkinson will wear the C for the 2nd straight season for the Edmonton Oil Kings. That's it for the news and notes. For everything WHL, you can follow us on Twitter at the WHL. Our first conversation is with Kamloops native Logan Stankoven. He has been tearing up every single league he's pretty much ever been in. His 1 year in the BC Major Midget League, he set a new record for goals with 49. His first year in the Western Hockey League, he tallies 29 bingos. This guy is expected to be a first-round pick in the NHL, and it was a pleasure getting to talk to him. Today I'm joined by Kamloops native and Kamloops Blazers. Well, he's a burgeoning superstar in our league, that's for sure. 29 goals and 19 assists for 48 points in 59 games as a 16-year-old. You'll get to see a pretty tremendous goal he scored last year against Prince George, but it's Logan Stankoven. Sorry, I almost screwed up your name there, even though we just talked about it. Logan Stankoven from the Kamloops Blazers. Logan, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on, Zach.
So Logan, interesting time, obviously. I mean, it's almost been an entire year since hockey got shut down. What have you been doing to keep your skills, to keep sharp, and to get ready for the start of this season?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough not being able to have a season just yet, but I think I've really tried to take advantage of this, longer off season and extended time, I guess, without the season starting. So I think just, being in the gym lots and on the ice, which has been, really fortunate for myself and where I live, because I know different provinces have different restrictions. So I know, a few provinces were shut down there for a while. So I think we've been fortunate here in BC and things have been good.
When you talked about, you're developing your skills off the ice, what are some specific areas that you worked on this off season that are going to benefit your game once we do drop the puck?
I think definitely my speed. I've really worked on that this past summer and I guess till now. So I thought last season my speed wasn't the greatest, or it could have been better than what it was. So I think I really worked on that this summer and with my off ice trainer and on ice as well. So I think that's really taken a big step, and I'm looking forward to showcasing that this upcoming season.
Like we said earlier, last year you had 29 goals, 19 assists for 48 points. I mean, you've been a goal scorer for essentially since you could hold a stick in your hand. Your last year of U15 AAA, just a casual 57 goals and 90 points. Your first year of U18 AAA, which is you would be midget AAA when I was playing, a first-year player, you set the new record for the BC Hockey Major Midget AAA League with 101 points and 52 goals. In the Western Hockey League, 29 goals. You would have been a 30-goal scorer had we had a full season. Where do you get the confidence to score goals at the rate that you do?
I think it's just been the practice and dedication that I've put in over the years. In my house here, I actually have a little shooting area. So I've been down there lots over the past, I guess, couple of years and since I've been a young kid. So I think that's definitely benefited me, in terms of scoring goals and finishing on my chances. But I'm not going to take all the credit. I've played with some great players over the years. It's not a one-man show whatsoever. It's been some great plays and passes, and I think that definitely was a key to some of my success last season. So it's been fun, and hopefully I can continue that this upcoming season.
In talking with some of our second year players now, our sophomore players like yourself, who do have tremendous shots and tremendous goal scoring ability, they talk about how they have a shooting area set up in their house or in their backyard. But when you go to the shooting area, like, what's your plan when you get there? Are you just there to shoot 100 pucks at the net, or do you have a specific focus of, hey, today I'm just going short side blocker every single shot. I'm not leaving here till I get 100 in a row?
Yeah, I guess it depends on the day, but I think when I go down there, I usually like to work on picking all the corners. I know lots of guys when they go down and shoot, they just like to pick the top corners, but I think it's important to shoot at all corners of the net. And I guess it depends on, the goalie size as well. Some goalies are big, some are smaller. So I think being able to, have that accuracy on, on certain holes in the net and picking those little holes and spots is important in my game. And I think that's definitely something I try and pride my game off of.
That is a great segue into a pretty tremendous goal that you scored last season. If you could just break down this play, what you remember and what you saw. Obviously, what we see from this camera angle, it looks like it's the easiest play in the world for you to make. But as you know, you got to have tremendous hockey sense to be able to identify the multiple plays you make on this goal. But if you could just kind of break it down for us, what you remember and what you were trying to do.
Honestly, that was just kind of it was a play out of our own zone. Actually, I think we were hemmed in there for about 10, 15 seconds, and the puck kind of squirted out to me there, and I made a play to one of the wingers. The winger got it back to me, and I just saw a 3-on-2 developing there, and I kind of dropped it to one of the defensemen falling up on our team, and I think he just made a great play back to me there, and we had a good net drive, and luckily I kind of brought it across crease there, and I tucked it in. So I think that was one of my first goals of the season against Prince George, even though we played them quite a few times this year. But it was one of my nicer goals, I think. But I definitely think it stemmed off of a great play from some of my teammates.
Yeah, great play by you too. And a cheeky goal as well. You have the entire top part of the net open. And what do? You slide it underneath that glove it has a little tiny opening. That's a goal scorer's goal. And when I was going through your goals, trying to find one, I was like, wow, it's an impressive hockey IQ play and then a tremendous skilled finish. So, bright things in your future for sure. And you play with some tremendous players as well, like Connor Zary, first round draft pick, ended up on Team Canada. Oren, I screw up his last name every single time. Centario. I don't know. I'm like Don Cherry with names, but what's it been like having those players to help you in that first season in the Western Hockey League and get you ingratiated into the league?
Yeah, it's definitely big. I think just having those guys as mentors and guys to look up to, it's pretty cool. And to see, the success those guys are having, and especially with, some of my teammates with Zary and even Garand, even though he's a goalie, he's still a guy that I look up to, and the way he prepares for games and is always focused. So having those types of guys on my team to, I guess, learn from and I guess, add new tricks and tips to my game is important. And it's been fun learning from them, and I look forward to hopefully playing with them in the future here.
The great thing about those guys too, especially with Zary and Grant, how they got to go to Hockey Canada, which the jersey behind you is from your experience, I'm sure, at the U17 championships with Team Canada Red, which we'll touch on in a second, but they're also learning from NHL guys, and then they're bringing it back to you and giving you that extra little, hey man, this is what the guys do at the NHL. You're probably going to be in a position to get there soon. Add this into your repertoire. But moving back to Zary and Garand, they played for Team Canada at the World Juniors. You got to represent Team Canada at the under-17s, where you scored 4 goals in 5 games. Unsurprising, given your track history of scoring goals. And what was that experience like, and how cool was it to get to play with players from all across, every single Canadian province, essentially? Yeah,
it was such a great experience. I think just, getting to meet new players and play with some past players as well. It was a good mix of guys. And I think, just learning from those types of players and getting to play with them was a lot of fun. I think it was also a good eye opener for myself, just to see the talent that's out there for my age group across the world. It was definitely an eye opener for me. And if anything, it just made me want to work harder and show some of those other guys that, I deserve to be with some of those top other players from across the world. And, the work doesn't stop. So I think just, keep my training up and continuing to work hard and bring that into the season is really big for me.
Logan, last question for you here. It's been so long since you got to be around, you got to hang out with your teammates, your coaches, the staff that the Blazers have. Who are you most looking forward to just absolutely roasting in practice once you get back to be with the Blazers?
Definitely a couple of my buddies, Caden Bankier and Josh Pilar. I think just the bond we had and the relationships, I guess I created last season, being a first year guy was a lot of fun. So I think, even before the games, we'd play sewer ball or, stick handle together in the hallways. So it's always fun to, I guess, chirp them or have some fun with them. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them again and continuing those fun times that we've had.
That's the best part about junior hockey is the relationships you make along the way. The games are just bonus, it's just extra fun. And I mean, you definitely look like you have fun when you're on the ice, when you're out there scoring goals. I think you're going to be a terror in this league for maybe the few remaining years you'll be in it before you're off to professional hockey. So thank you for taking time out of your day tonight. And I wish you the best of luck as you get ready for this season.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We are back. For the first time in nearly a year, Western Hockey League players are stepping back onto the ice. And today, we take a look at what to expect from the Central Division. Considering that they were the top team in the Eastern Conference last season, let's start up north in the provincial capital with the Edmonton Oil Kings. They're led by the reigning WHL Coach of the Year, Brad Lauer, and the Oil Kings want to improve on their .734 winning percentage from last season. With potential first overall pick Dylan Guenther leading the way offensively, and New York Rangers draft pick Matthew Robertson anchoring the blue line, the Oil Kings boast one of the deepest rosters in the Western Hockey League. Moving south, the Red Deer Rebels are hoping that living in the rink will be the edge that they need to be a contender in the Central. The Rebels, who had one of the youngest lineups in the Western Hockey League last season, need their emerging stars to make that next step and help the Rebels score more than the 181 goals they tallied last season, which tied them for 14th best in the league. Ben King, who was acquired from the Swift Current Broncos mid-season, and Jaden Grube look to form a solid top two centers, while Kyle Masters and the litany of young Red Deer defensemen need to hold down the fort to help the stingy Rebels disrupt the Central. In the true provincial capital of Calgary, the Hitmen are, in the words of Charles Bradley, going through changes. Gone are Mark Kastelic, Carson Folk, Dakota Krebs, and Jet Wu, meaning the Hitmen will have a new voice or voices in the dressing room this season. Looking to fill that leadership void includes Nashville Predators third-round pick Luke Prokop and his 20-year-old brother Josh, as well as veteran point-per-game forward Riley Stotts. Braden Peters, who took over the crease last season, will be counted on again to provide stability between the pipes as the Hitmen discover their new identity. Much like Zach Bryan, we will continue heading south and take a look at another club in the midst of change. Longtime Hurricane stars Kalen Addison and Dylan Cousins have both taken their talents to the NHL, meaning the offensive load will need to be carried by someone else. Luckily for Lethbridge, they have options. Hometown star Zach Stringer will be leaned on to provide more offense this season, and breakout player of the year and Detroit Red Wings draft pick defenseman Alex Cotton will need to replicate his offensive output from last season. Between the pipes, another Lethbridge native, Carl Tedachuk, hopes to continue to improve on his already impressive WHL record. Lastly, we go to Medicine Hat, a city not known for its medicine or its hats, but for its high-skill, up-tempo teams that come wave after wave under the tutelage of Willie Desjardins. 30 goal scorers Brett Kemp and Ryan Chizowski return to the Tigers for their final season of junior hockey, while Daniel Baker will once again be asked to provide the offense from the blue line. Throw in a third and final Weisblatt brother, Oasis, to the mix, and the Tigers will once again have one of the most potent lineups of scorers in the Western Hockey League. Between the pipes, Washington Capitals 6th-round pick Garen Bjorklund takes over the crease for the first time in his Western Hockey League career. That's what you need to know about the Central Division for this season. Puck drops this Friday with Medicine Hat in Red Deer at 6 p.m. Mountain for the first game of the 2021 WHL regular season, followed by the Lethbridge Hurricanes in Edmonton for a 7 o'clock puck drop. You can catch all the action on the new WHL Live. Up next on the podcast is Brock Gould, the 6'5" goaltender from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Currently calls Denver home, and that's where I caught up with him to talk about what he expects from the Portland Winterhawks this season. Today I'm joined by Brocktober's very own. He is from Denver, Colorado. Originally born in Colorado Springs, which has a beautiful park called the Garden of the Gods. It is free for everybody. I'd recommend that you go check it out. It is a pretty phenomenal place. Also some pretty good rock climbing there as well. But I'm talking to the newest member of the Portland Winterhawks. He's goaltender Brock Gould. Brock, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I guess we can start with, what are you doing to keep busy right now back home in Denver?
Yeah, I mean, now that we're, getting started, a lot of my time's just been focused on, training and being around the rink and, lifting weights and stuff like that, just getting in shape. But when I haven't been doing that, just with the long off season, I've kind of picked up fishing and, I play the guitar a little bit. So I think those are two things I've enjoyed doing for sure.
Oh my goodness. You play the guitar. What type of music do you play when it comes to the guitar?
Kind of everything. I'm not too good, but I'd say country and some rock and that sort of thing for sure. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. It's a great skill to have, and it's something that you can work on away from the rink all the time. It's just something where it's a skill where you can actually teach yourself, which is really cool. But let's get back to the ice. Let's get back to hockey, and let's start with your journey to the Western Hockey League. When did you first become aware that the Western Hockey League was an option for you?
I think it was about 13, and I was at a showcase with my my bantam team, and we had it was a presentation on the Western Hockey League that they do for a lot of the bantam guys, and I think I knew what it was, but I didn't really know that was an option for me, I guess, until about that point. And I was really intrigued by it, and it was definitely a goal for me to get there for sure.
Well, and then you ended up getting drafted in 2016, 8th round, 170th overall. But you got drafted by the Victoria Royals. You played for your first and part of your second season in the Western Hockey League. But what about Victoria really made you say, hey, this is where I want to go, and I'm excited about the opportunity that exists here?
Yeah, I really liked the organization, liked everyone that was in charge there, and Victoria is obviously a great place, and I had a lot of fun when I was there. And also my two goalie coaches there, Lyndon Sammartino and Dwayne Rollison, they've been extremely influential in my game today. And even when I signed, I knew they could help me a lot.
Let's talk about that game. You're listed at 6'5". You might be taller, you might be shorter. Let's be honest. Hockey isn't exactly known for giving precise measurements on our players. But how would you describe the type of goalie that you are?
I would say pretty tall and athletic would be my two biggest strengths. And then I just kind of want to rein everything in and keep my game under control as much as I can, especially, I'm a big guy. I don't want to get, too stretched out or too far out of my net. So I think it's just, using my size and my athleticism to my advantage.
Well, I got to see you play last year in Seattle. It was a Moose Jaw against Seattle game. You guys didn't win. You came close. It was a 4-3 game, if I remember it right. You got peppered that game. You got peppered quite a bit in Moose Jaw, obviously a rebuilding team. What are you expecting, though, with this trade to Portland? This was the top team in the Western Hockey League last year with a lot of those players coming back. What are your expectations for yourself and for the team this year?
I'm definitely really excited to join Portland. I think we're going to have a really solid team. And, I think we expect to win games, and we expect to win a lot of games. And for me personally, I think it's just putting everything together this year. Now that I'm an older guy, I've had 2 full years in the league. I kind of hope to take on a little bit of a leadership role and, help guide some of the younger guys and, really step up my game as well.
When you look at your time in the Western Hockey League, again, you're coming into their 3rd year. You are a veteran player, and you're the starting goaltender on the Portland Winterhawks, which is in itself, a starting goaltender role is a leadership position on any team. Whether the goaltenders, some of them don't really want that at all, and other ones do want to have that leadership presence on a club. What do you think you need to do to provide that stability for the Winterhawks this season?
I think it goes back to reining my game in and consistency, because as a big athletic goaltender, you can tend to, stretch out and, leave holes, between your arms or 5 holes, something like that. So I think it's just, reining that game in so I can play more consistently. So I think that's a big thing for me for sure. It's just, the overall consistency of my game.
When you talk about reining your game in, what can you go into more detail about exactly what you mean by that? What's one reining in area that you've really focused on?
Yeah, for sure. I think, a big one is just patience on the shot. So, mentally you can tend to get ahead of yourself and, drop too early or, overreact to a puck. So I think it's just, being patient on that shot, being patient on that release, and, just reading the play as it happens, letting it come to you.
Oh, that's a great breakdown of exactly what you're trying to work on. And you know what? I love hearing that. That's awesome to hear that you have a plan of how you're going to improve that. And then, my last question for you, let's just look back on a highlight here. What's been your favorite moment in your junior hockey career so far?
Oh gosh. There's a lot of stuff. Close that. My first year in Victoria, I wasn't starting, but I was playing as a backup against our playoff series against Kamloops. That was really cool just to be a part of. The playoffs are obviously really fun. And then personally, I would think the game I had against Spokane when I was playing for Moose Jaw, I saw like 72 shots or something like it was. Had a pretty nice glove save. So I think that's a moment that definitely stands out to me. It's one of the best.
Brock, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Looks like a lovely day there in Denver. I hope you're taking advantage of it. And again, best of luck as you get started with Portland. It's a new chapter. It's a new journey. It's a new challenge for you. And I mean, what an exciting time.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thanks to Brock for taking time out of his busy schedule right now as he prepares to head to Portland for the first time to be a member of the Winterhawks this season. Our last conversation is with Moose Jaw Warriors forward and the 22nd overall selection at the 2018 WHL draft, Eric Alarie. Alarie had a very strong start to his Western Hockey League career, and he hopes to continue that development this season with the Warriors. Today I'm joined by Winnipeg native Eric Alarie. He's a current Moose Jaw Warrior. He wears a very unique number for a forward. I'll let him explain why he made that choice. But Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's get back to that number. Why did you choose the number you wear, and tell the people what number you do wear for the Moose Jaw Warriors?
Yeah, so my first choice for a number was number 9, but the number is retired in Moose Jaw, and every other number that I wore before, they were already taken by some other players. And I know Jet Wu from being from Winnipeg, and I look up to him a lot. So I said I might as well take his number and try to do just as good as he did.
And you know what? You had a great start to your first season in the Western Hockey League. You had 7 goals and 14 assists for 21 points in 61 games on a rebuilding Moose Jaw team. You guys definitely had your struggles last year. And one of the things that ended up happening is Tim Hunter was replaced by assistant coach Mark Alarie. And what was that like as a player to go through that and have Mark come in? And what was that process like as a player on the team?
Yeah, well, you don't want your coach to get fired, but was the best move for our club to do. And I think things changed a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's all about hard work and competing. And Mark O'Leary is all about hard work and competing.
And hard work and compete, that's a big part of your game. It's why you've been so successful up to this point. And I know for yourself, you're definitely hoping to hear your name get called at the 2021 NHL draft. And looking ahead to that, you've actually got to do the work on the ice first. So what do you think you need to do this season to get yourself on draft boards and on NHL teams' radars?
Yeah, just showcase my game. I know I'm a big body that can battle and have a really good shot. So I think just shooting the puck more is one thing I think I'd rather do this year, and just hang around the net and get those greasy goals in more. So.
Speaking of that shot, let's watch a goal right now. We're going to see some floppy tongues and a great shot here. Just if you could let us know kind of what you remember from this goal. It was in Seattle. Fun fact, I was actually at this game. It was a Tuesday night. It was a close one, 4-3 final, I believe. But yeah, just take us through this play and what you can remember from it.
Yeah, so I just remember I wasn't expecting the guy to turn it over, and when I saw Langer get the puck, steal it, and I was just hoping he could find me behind the D-man. And when I got it, I just looked up and I saw this opening over his shoulder, and I shot it as quick as I could, and well, hopefully it went in, and it was a good goal for me.
Yeah, that was a great goal. I like what you did there. It's a broken play. The puck kind of comes out. And what you did was you essentially, in hockey terms, you got lost in the traffic, and nobody on Seattle seemed to pick you up because you crisscrossed with your other forward there. And when you got lost, all 5 Seattle Thunderbirds forwards and defense went to the puck side, and you were wide open in front of the net, and then a tremendous shot there. How do you develop that shot, or is it something that you've always had?
Well, I practice my shot a lot. I got this set up in my backyard in this summer, and this set up in my basement in the winter, and I shoot around 250 pucks a day. So since I was really young, since I was 8 or 9, so always worked on my shot a lot.
Your parents must love the fact that you're in the Western Hockey League now and they don't have to buy you sticks anymore, because 250 pucks a day sounds like you must have gone through a lot of sticks when you were growing up.
Yeah, I've gone through my fair share.
Well, as we look ahead here and, the Moose Jaw Warriors, we're going to be back playing in a hub in Regina. As you prepare for that and as you get ready to rejoin your teammates, what do you think you guys need to do to have success in the hub?
I think we were pretty young last year. I think we had 10 rookies, and just getting the experience of playing the league for a year for all of us, I think is going to help a lot. And we're going to be a lot better this year. I know we're pretty deep, just playing hard, and that's our type of game. So.
Well, you have a newly minted captain there in Damon Hunt. You're obviously going to take a big step this year and have a leadership role for the 16-year-old players and the rookie players that are coming onto the team that are still in high school, as you've already gone through that whole process. And you are looking, again, to get drafted to the NHL. So what are your expectations on yourself for this year?
I think I can be a leader on this team. I know I work really hard, and I lead more by example, but I know that if I work hard, give me all my best, go 100% every single shift I have, I can make a difference out there.
Well, Eric Alarie, thank you so much for taking time out of the day to talk with me. I know we're going to get started here soon. I hope that you stay safe and healthy throughout this process, and you're ready to go once we drop the puck in Regina at the Brandt Center.
Thank you.
That is it for this week's edition of the WHL podcast. Again, a big thank you to Logan Stankoven, to Brock Gould, to Eric Alarie, and to those organizations who helped set up those interviews for this episode. My name's Zach Cotter. You can follow me on Twitter at Zach Cotter. You can follow the Western Hockey League on Twitter at the WHL. And for everything WHL, make sure you head to www.whl.ca. We'll drop another podcast episode next Wednesday. Until then, have a great week.